Hi everyone, it's Yazzie here. We're going to go ahead and get a reading for you today. But first, as always, and I have a channeled message as well, but first, let's clear everything. I ask and invite in the gods and goddesses, archangels, guardian angels, deities, entities, spirits, spiritual teams, spiritual guides, ascended masters, our higher self, our inner toddler, our inner child, our inner teenager, our shadow self, and the universe to be present. And I ask that you all would please banish and remove anything and everything that is not meant for us, including negativity, negative energies, negative entities, evil eyes of all kinds, and negative monitoring spirits. And I ask that you all would please purify and cleanse the space, the tools in which I use, the cards, and myself, so that this message comes through clearly and with clarity for the collective today. Please and thank you. Okay. So just before, firstly, if nothing in my message resonates with you or the entire message does not resonate with you, that's perfectly fine. It just means it's not your message, and that's all right. It's okay. But the channeled message that I had that came through just before I actually started recording, 111 as I say this, is consequences will happen for those who do not take the necessary precautions to prevent said consequences from happening if it is within their control. So, as you all know, Pluto is now in Aquarius 132, and the last 16 years that Pluto has been in Capricorn, there's been a lot of things that we've been learning, a lot of things that have been changing. Now, with that being said, because of all the learning, the changes, the things that we have had to go through in this new age, this new era, as we all have been calling it, there are things that we would be able to go ahead and be able to apply to 202 to certain situations that perhaps we had dealt with previously that may come up now, but in a little bit of a 211 different sense, and 212. But because of the fact that we've dealt with it before, we should be able to now do what must be done or go about situations in such a way where we can prevent certain consequences from happening. So, and I'll give a perfect example of this. 234. So yesterday was my birthday, and also thank you for everyone who wished me a happy birthday, by the way. And I was out and about, and some random dude just started chatting up a conversation with me, which, I thought that was, it's cool, it's whatever. I have no problems talking with people. However, this dude was so adamant on hanging out with me and getting my number and talking with me, and I heard it clear as day. Like, it wasn't anything that I hadn't heard before, but something within me recognized it. 311 immediately, 313, and I just kept coming up with all kinds of stuff on not to give him my number, but he felt the need to give me his and wanted me to talk with him and hang out with him and whatever. And as he started talking about himself, and it was already, I understand people are going through a rough time, but this dude looked like he was going through a rough time. 333. And, as he started talking about himself, I could already tell. I could already hear that this is a situation I'd been through before. This is a situation where he's just, the situation could have gone really, really bad had I talked to this person or talked to this dude or gone with him anywhere in that regard. So, as someone who has unfortunately dealt with people like this in the past, and little naive young me did not know at the time, I know now. And it's one of those things where, okay, you've clearly learned the lesson. Good job. 414. And now we have the tools and the knowledge and the experience to be able to apply whatever we have learned from said previous and past situations and experiences, that we can apply it now and make sure that we are making an active, conscious effort and conscious change to not go through those same lessons again within our own lives, but also as a community as well, and be able to make things better by not making the same mistakes again. Okay, so that was a good part of the channeled message. Was there anything else? Because I thought there was something else that came through. I swear there was something else, and now it's escaping me. Why is it escaping me? Okay. I guess that was the most important part of the channel messages, because there was something else that came through and I can't remember what it was for some reason, but that's okay. So what we're gonna do for this reading this time is we're gonna go ahead and kind of see, we're gonna do it a little bit differently than how I've normally done it. We're gonna see, as the collective, now that, you know, Pluto is in Aquarius, 555, we're gonna see, what does the universe want you focusing on? Where do you need to put your focus? What do you need to be working on? Now that we are entering into a whole new time and stage of life for the next 20 years. Now, I'm not saying that you need to be focusing on this, whatever it is that comes through for the next 20 years, but we'll just see what the universe has to say about it, though. What does the collective need to be focusing on now that we are entering a new era? What does the collective need to be focusing on now that we are coming into a whole new era? I've been shuffling both of the tarot decks as I've been talking, but which one do you want to start with? Antique? Okay, we're going to start with this one. In my hands right now, this is the Antique Anatomy Tarot. I love this one. But what does the collective need to know? What do they need to be focusing on? What do they need to be focusing on? I do hear something about career changes, focusing on changing things within your own life. Community is important. So if you're like me, some of you might be, where you've kind of been secluded off for a little bit, not purpose, not like maliciously closed off, but for the sake of your healing. But now is the time to actually like get out again, do things in the community again, things like that. I had a bunch of cards flip out. Hold on. We have, well, the first one I saw was a 10 of Blades, but what flipped on this side was the Queen of Coins, the 5 of Rods, the King of Blades. What are you doing here? The 7 of Blades and the 10 of Blades. Okay. Whoop, we have one more. We have the Ace of Rods. Okay. And then we have the 9 of Pentacles at the bottom. Or I'm sorry, the 9 of Coins. Wrong deck. Sorry, it's the same thing though. Point is, all right, we were asking about what the collective needed to focus on. Why is the Queen of Coins, the 5 of Rods, and the King of Blades here? The King of Blades has come out here before. What's going on? I keep hearing focus on removing the conflict. So you, as the Queen of Coins, and it doesn't matter what gender you are, it's just the energy. So you're stable and you're grounded, but more so in a gentle sense. You're not someone who is, you are focusing on the materials, but not so much that it's all about that in your life. 909 as I say that. And you're trying to remove the conflict with this King of Blades, whomever they may be in your life. More so on the romantic end, 919. But it's time to remove conflict by coming to a compromise. Why is that? Is it with the King of Blades? Are you coming to a compromise and removing the conflict? Let me ask again. Is the collective needing to come to a compromise with the King of Blades, and will that be what removes the conflict? Possibilities is what I just heard. Well, let me ask this then. Why is the 7 of Blades, the 10 of Blades, and the Ace of Rods here? 10-10 as I look up right now. 10-11. So 10-10 is the, it's like endings, it's completions. And of course we have the 10 of Blades here, which is an ending. It does represent like pain and heart, and like 10-23, it does represent like backstabbing and pain and hurt and whatnot, but it also represents an ending as well. So tell me about the 7 of Blades, the 10 of Blades, and the Ace of Rods. So there's something where, in regards to the possibilities, that's why the Ace of Rods is here, the opportunities, but this was something where you're compromising with the conflict that happened, where perhaps 7 of Blades, there was a betrayal, there was deceit, there was more so between you and this King of Blades. It's not so much deceit between the both of you. It's more of perhaps you or them or both of you might have been lying to yourselves a little bit as opposed to lying to each other. It could be also lying to each other, but not in like, it's not malicious is what I heard. And that's where that's where like the ending's coming to, where it's ending all of the miscommunication. It's ending even when it comes to like talking about perhaps people who have been this way, 1144, towards the both of you, where there's been that betrayal and deceit and lies, or even just the sneakiness from other people in both of your lives that you've been dealing with. And that's where like you have that ending as well, and there's that compromise, there's that, the possibilities, the change, the passion as well. 12-12 as I say that. And it's new, it's different. There's a change. A new era has begun is what I just heard as well. There's changes. Okay. I did hear they're worried. 1234 as I say that. So they're being the King of Blades. So they are worried about a little bit about the conflict that the connection could cause, but that has to do with people on their end. But at the same time, they don't give a fuck. Like they're at that point of just like, I don't care anymore. Like it's either I sit here and be around people and things and places doing things that make me miserable, that I truly just don't care about anymore, or I deal with whatever possible conflict could come from the people around me to no longer have conflict and actually compromise with the collective. And that's where they're at right now, and that's what they're kind of looking over. That's like how this card shows of them. That's what's on their mind, the blade going straight through their mind. That's what they're thinking about all the time. It's nonstop. And even with, the 9 of coins here, this is something where they want to be happy in the good life, but they want it with you. And this is something where the collective is also telling you it is something that you do need to kind of put your focus on, because it seems that it's causing a bit of blockage. The conflict between you both is what's causing blockages. It's causing a little bit of stalling in your healing journey. 14-14 as I say that. And as you go now into this new era, that's part of the change. Part of the change is that there's the compromise as opposed to the continuous conflict that has been going on for the past 15, 16 years between the two of you, possibly. And they just want that happy life. And I can't help but notice that underneath the 9 of coins is the King of coins, matching to the Queen of coins. This is the energy that they're in at this point. They have the stability. They have what they can offer you. They have all of that. They have the energy to match you, but Actually, you know what? That is a great question to move on next to. Is what's stalling them from actually doing it? And we're going to get from the traditional tarot on that. What's stalling or stopping this King of Blades from actually approaching the collective? Let's say that. What's stalling them? I saw a card fly out. Of course, the Six of Pentacles came out. This was on the bottom. Okay, can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Can you elaborate a little bit more on the Six of Pentacles and why is that stalling them? I keep hearing they're afraid to give. Perhaps that's why the Seven of Blades is here, is that they gave too much in the past. They overgave, which is something where, as the collective can more than likely relate, overgiving and then people with the Ten of Blades here ending up, hurting them, backstabbing them, taking far more out of them than they had expected, is what I'm hearing. So they're a little bit afraid to give because they're not sure how it will be received, and they're not sure if you may take them for granted, even though they don't realize that you understand that feeling. Absolutely understand that feeling. It's a lot of like they're in their head a lot. They overthink a lot, which makes sense with the King of Blades, very in their mind about a lot of things. Is that the only thing that's stalling them? Is there anything else that's keeping them from actually moving forward to the, burpees, to the collective? Is that the only thing? Or is there more to it than just the giving? These cards are so slippery. I cannot talk. You may be having issues talking, like, a lot. Honestly. I think that they're afraid of getting tongue-tied on their words. They're trying to figure out what to say to you. And that's what feels like is tripping them up. They're not sure how to put their thoughts into words. They have a hard time with that. And we have double confirmation because here's the Nine of Coins, and what just came out was the Nine of Pentacles. They're so stuck on giving you this life. They really want to give you this life, and that may be also what's stalling them as well, is that they're working so hard to get to a point that they can give you that good lifestyle and have that good life with you, because it's here twice. That's what's really keeping them, aside from the fact of overgiving and being in their head. They're really wanting to give you that life. But because of that, it's causing them to take even longer to come forward to you because of the fact that they're so focused on that. They have you in mind, but they're so focused on getting their materialistic and physical world right and finances and everything like that correct. But I don't think they understand that there is the possibility that you may not wait around forever for them. I mean, if you do, that's entirely your choice. But for some of you, you don't want to. You've waited long enough for this person. And while, yes, it is important to resolve that conflict and have some sort of compromise, that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be directly with them. It can be internally within you as well, or even energetically with them. Just like explain to them that, I have tried, I've waited. Perhaps you may have even the King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck to the King of Coins, where you've waited and you've explained to them what you wanted, and you've done, all that you could on your end at the time. You may not have had a lot to give to them, but, you gave what you could. And what flipped out was strength. That took strength to do that. And this is where they feel that they feel like they're not as strong as you in certain aspects. Which I can see that makes sense. Most people, when they do come together, one person will have aspects of themselves that the other does not. It's like completing each other. You complete one another. And they feel as though it's kind of like, because I can't help but notice on the card, it's almost like they're the lion and you're the woman, you're the lady. You're infinite, you have an infinite amount of just strength and compassion that is just never ending. And the Queen of Coins also is a compassionate queen as well in who she is. She's giving, she's loving, but in a more material, and not in a materialistic sense, but like acts of service, giving, things like that. And that's how she is as a queen. So it's very interesting how the cards line up. And I can't help but notice again, we have the King of Pentacles at the bottom, where the King of Coins is here as well. So they're in that energy. They're stable. They're extremely stable, but they still feel, it's like they feel they need more. They feel as though what they currently have just is not enough to give you, even though they don't realize that there is a possibility. Some of us, this can be the case where you've had far less, and what they have could easily be far more than you're expecting. But in their mind, they feel that they should be giving you the world, the stars, the planets, the sun, a whole galaxy if they could, the Milky Way even, and they're in that kind of energy. Because underneath that is the Ace of Pentacles. They want to give you these opportunities as well. They want to give you something that, they want to give you something that no one else has seemingly given to you before. And this could be in a lot of different ways for all of you. This could be a lot of different things. And I can't help but notice that the King of Wands is underneath here too. They're gaining control is what I just heard. Sorry, it took me a minute. But they're gaining some sort of control over themselves and their life. And it's taking them a lot of time to do this. Because let's think the 15, 16 year time. It's taken them a lot of time to get to this point, as well as the King of Blades and the King of Pentacles, King of Coins twice. It's taken them a great deal of time. A great deal of time, actually. Okay. You know what? So this is something where you're going to have to find a way to kind of deal with this conflict and find some sort of resolution, whether it's directly with them or internally within you, depending on whichever way you choose, or if this person actually decides to even come through and make this known to you in the physical world. 2334 as I say that. But you still want me to do traditional? Okay, well then let's ask this then. With this King of Blades, even though this is what the collective needs to kind of focus on, whichever way, is the King of Blades actually going to come forward? Like, are they actually going to vocalize any of this to the collective? Are they going to actually say anything? Are they going to actually say anything? Oh, what was that? The Magician. The Magician is what came out. Okay. They're gathering their resources is what I just heard, even though, why are they gathering if they're coming out as the Magician for... Oh, okay. They're gaining the resources to be able to communicate. Perhaps one of them might be courage, even. You have this energy about you. You can be very intimidating in more ways than one, not just physically, but in your energy. Which there's nothing wrong with that. But they are gaining and making sure that their resources are all together to be able to communicate with you. Okay. Then, okay, well then let's ask this. I keep getting, okay, let's ask this. How soon then? Can you give a time frame maybe? Since that is coming up, can you give a time frame? We have 2 cards here. Ooh. We have the 3 of Swords and the 10 of Cups. We had the 3 of Cups at the bottom as well. So they're trying to gain their resources or make sure their resources are in check so that way they can come talk to you. However, why is the 3 of Swords and the 10 of Cups here? I asked about time frame. I'm hearing 3 to 10 days, but again, take that as an estimate. People have free will. Things can change. Things are never set in stone. But what else about the 3 of Swords and the 10 of Cups, aside from the time frame? All I keep hearing is they're working on it, which could be the heartache, whatever heartache they had to deal with prior. They're working through their traumas, which is why the 10 of Cups is here. They're trying to get to that happiness, but you're also a part of that. It's not just by themselves. But something happened that has really put them in this place of like fear of what others think of them, especially when it comes to you. You have a very different place in this person's heart and mind, very different place, which makes sense. It's all here. You have a very different spot in their life as opposed to other people or even anyone that they've been around, friends, family, previous romantic relationships. But what they want is they do want to have that happiness and celebration, of course, with the 10 of Cups, but they want to be able to actually be in some sort of harmony with you. They want to be able to have good times with you and not have to, every time they talk to you or every time they see you, it's filled with tension. They're sick of that. And you are too. It's one of those things where it's like, this is a very mutual feeling. It's not anything malicious. It's not anything where it's like, not anger, but a little bit of frustration. Just because it's not necessarily towards you or you necessarily towards them. It's both of you having things that you have had to work on over these years, and you're now coming to these breakthroughs, these understandings, and you're seeing a lot of this from a different angle than you did before. It's very different now, which is a good thing. It should be. After all this time and all these years and all this work that you've both put into this, it should be different. Okay. Can I get one more card? Antique? Okay. I want one more card on the outcome. Oops, sorry. Not a bunch. Can I get one more card on the outcome of this? Potential outcome? Oh. What is this? We have the 9 of Blades. We have the 8 of Blades as well. Why? But we also have the 3 of Elixirs, 3 of Cups, and we have the 4 of Elixirs. But we also have the 10 of Coins at the bottom as well. So we got 4 cards out of this. Oh, I see. I see why it's like this. Okay. Okay. So these are for, so the 9 of blades and the 8 of blades is if they choose, or if, not necessarily you, but if you don't address the conflict, whereas if they don't choose to actually try and reach out and proceed, it's stress and being stuck in the same cycle. You're wrapping, I don't want to say that, it's the self-doubt. You're doubting yourself, they're doubting themselves, but it's also would create stress and problems. It's going to push both of you to be in a place where you've already done this before and not addressing it, and not like coming to some sort of conclusion or acceptance or even just closure with it will keep the both of you in this kind of energy. That's what this is, and that's why this is coming out. So this is if neither of you resolves this conflict or compromise or acceptance, closure with each other or within yourselves. This is the outcome of that. However, if, and apparently the 10 of coins, 10 of coins, and guess what's underneath that? 10 of elixirs. That's double confirmation, and yes, it is a part of this. So, but if you both do proceed, then there comes the celebration, the happiness, the fact that you two can I just heard, why would you want to let this go? Why would you want to let this go? Because of course it comes with the materialistic end and the emotions end, where it brings that sense of peace and happiness, but also the 3201, also the stability, the life that you both had manifested and wanted in the intellectual, the emotional, the, and also, you know, in a physical sense, but also in the stability, in the materialistic, in the, you know, the physical world. You both manifested each other. You may not have realized it at the time, but you both did. And this would be the outcome of if you both choose to actually move forward and actually come to some sort of compromise, whether it's with each other or internally. But ignoring it and just not seeing what could be and actually trying would again put you in that 8 of blades and 9 of blades energy. And you've already been there. Why would you want to go through that again? I don't know about you, but 15 years is a long time, and we got 20 years to go in this new era. Are you sure you want to do that? But again, it's really up to you. It's really up to you. But as far as what the cards say, it's definitely something that needs to be addressed. It needs to be dealt with at this point. Because again, 20 years is a long time. But, all right. Is there anything else? Anything else that we need to know from here? No, that is it. All right, 33:45 as I look up, and I apologize for this being as long as it was, but it was important. But I hope that this message brought you a great deal of clarity, 33:54, and I appreciate you all so much. Thank you all again for joining me for another reading. I appreciate you for your support. I love you. My tongue. Anyway, I love you all so very much. Please be safe out there. Take care of yourself. Stay hydrated. Celebrate this new era in whatever way possible that makes you happy and is healthy, please. But I love you all so much. Thank you again for joining me. I'll see y'all again soon. And be safe out there. Bye.